This is not
Okay,
as a
I'm
mayor,
finally
but
here
as a
for good.
Hi.
Oh shit! Oh wow.
Dab, how you been?
Yeah, Bob. Good. Bobby just told me you might be super busy and that we wouldn't be able to meet.
No, we're good.
Yeah, I told him
well,
you got that baby shower to.
I was with a
worry
much
about.
larger group, we could say, and this it's just me and Richard now.
Okay. Yeah, we were just talking. We were shooting the shit about like businesses, about our conflict. We were talking about mayor.
You know, we had a similar talk with Crane today. I don't know if Bobby told you, but
Yeah, I saw his taser prongs.
you saw him.
Hey, he showed me his chest. He showed me where you guys tased him.
Yeah, it was a productive talk, I think, though.
Oh, well, I hopefully we can talk without being tortured.
Well, of course. I wouldn't classify it as torture, more as like
Get tased every day.
motivational. Joe, yeah, we get tased every day. Is that torture?
I get tased.
Yeah, we get pit at over 100, and they say it's not 100.
So yeah, about that.
The general conclusion we had with Crane was give the citizens the benefit of the doubt. Open the fucking doors for them. Let them explore. Let them try things. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Have systems in place that are independent of each other and not ruled by the same people for each system.
Like what?
Well, for example, he mentioned an oversight board for the PD. He said the internal affairs wasn't working out because nothing was ever done, and then he's explained to me how they have the oversight board. But then he also explained how they can't actually do anything and can simply just give recommendations. And I said, well, that's just like IA. You make a report and you never hear back and nothing happens.
Bro, listen. Civilian Oversight Board, I was never really on board with it. For that reason, right? Because the way that it was worded to me was, oh, these three people, they're going to suggest that action be taken against certain officers or whatever.
Exactly.
That's probably the reason why it's literally. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, that shit has literally never ever been used, ever.
I think for two reasons: one, they can't actually do anything, and two, I don't think anyone knows about it. I don't think people know it's a thing.
Well, I mean, there was a public election a while back, but yeah, I mean, the interest in that wasn't like nearly as high as like the mayor shit or the sheriff shit. But that's part of the reason why I did the PCP the first time around, because I wanted.
Oh, you did PCP too?
No, a different type.
The legislation, like that's why I did it, because I didn't have any faith in the Civilian Oversight Board, and I wanted to be the person at the time, just the mayor, who was essentially, because the way that a lot of shit goes down in Los Santos is that like shit will happen. Like think about the PD like 5+ years ago. They were kind of left to their own devices. They were allowed to spiral into this like monstrous thing that was just so oppressive that it was almost impossible for people who weren't super organized to combat them at all, right?
Right.
And that's because there wasn't anyone that was like watching them and being like, like maybe the way that they're going about this right now is a little too hard. Maybe it's productive of a lot of violence as a result, so on and so forth. So the PCP made me the person who was like gonna check in with them occasionally to be like, hey, are you guys fucking up? Or hey, are you guys going too fucking hard right now? Or like, are you not going hard enough? So on, so forth. Yeah, and I did that because once I heard the Civilian Oversight Board, and once I heard that the captains that were in charge of the PD back in the like a couple of months ago, they weren't doing shit, and then they were also they were so self-righteous about the prospect of having somebody go in and be like, hey, you guys have fucked up, and they didn't want any oversight whatsoever.
Yeah.
And bro, I still remember the fucking meeting I had with all three of them. First of all, it was the first time that I had ever met Ruth and Turner. And they were in my office. And I was telling them that I was going to propose the PCP and that I want to work with them, and that I would be acting as oversight for their department to make sure that no egregious instances of power abuse were to happen. And the first thing that Brooke Ruth said to me was, like, what if we just decided to vote out this council of 8? Like, she was like,
I remember,
yeah, dude. So right there, that's a red flag for me, bro, because at that point they don't want people to know what they're doing. They want to be able to have that free reign to do whatever the fuck they want, and that's a big.
Always been one of my main issues is the people that hold the city accountable don't want to be held accountable themselves. They take it almost as offensive. It's like, oh, you want to look over what I'm doing? Why? What do you like? Who are you to say what I'm like? So I think the oversight board is good, but they need actual ability to do something, and they need to be proactive. I mean, by that I mean, when I've made an IA complaint, I've done a couple. I would make it, you know, give the whole story, I provide my evidence, and then I would never hear back about anything. Not a phone call.
Was this back in the day?
Yeah, just in general. I mean, even recently, in the past few months. So the oversight board, I would like to see, you know, you give your statement, and then they reach out to you. They're proactive about it. They're like, you know, they get back to you. They let you know what's going on, the process it's in, the steps that are being taken. That way, you know, oh, shit's actually fucking happening, and not just falling on deaf ears.
So, and that's what I want to do as commissioner. So if you guys are getting like fucked up or abused by a cop on the street, you know, I told Bobby and them this before he showed up, but I'm not here to barter with you guys. I'm not here to make like concessions and stuff. I want it to be very clear. I want there to be a balance. Okay, a balance. I want everyone to be held accountable. Okay, no matter who you are.
Exactly.
So if you have issues, okay, Mr. K, with a cop or with the way that something went down or whatever, I want you to call me so we can figure that shit out and figure out if they overstep their power or their boundaries or whatever, so that I can administer the proper punishment. And right now I have the power to do that, and I want to do that.
Yeah, so if a motherfucker like shoots me because they thought I was pulling a gun, but I was pulling out my fucking phone, I should be able to go to someone and make a complaint about that without it feeling like, oh, they're trying to, you know, sweep this under the rug like they usually do. Or like, oh no.
Throw your complaint to the void.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think you guys were on the run at this point, but Dundee did like a huge fucking rally, or maybe you were in prison for that one day and then whatever. But there was like 60 people in the MRPD parking lot, and you know, I talked him to peace, to de-escalation, you know, and you know, following the whole escapade of you guys being on the run, you know, I want there to be that level of de-escalation. You know, I don't want. My goal was to have it so that, you know, maybe we go a week without shooting. Yeah, that'd be great. You know what I'm saying?
Now you're pushing it.
You know, regardless of what happens, you know, that's my aim. Is you know, I want cops to be able to go out there and be able to do their job, and to do their job well, and to do their job with a sense of pride, and to be able to be a presence, just not an overwhelming presence. That's my MO.
I think
you know what's my issue right now?
What?
Oh, go ahead.
I mean, you be yapping this whole time, Bobby. Go ahead, yap some more.
My issue right now, Deb, is that I feel like police, they uphold what they feel is justice, but they don't really know what the fuck justice is.
Well, let me bounce off that. For example, when I'm in a cell, and this is a part of the reason why I feel like the DOJ system's a bit tainted. When you're down getting processed, and you try to argue any type of charges you got, the first thing they do, they call a judge and talk to them about it, and you're pretty much tried right there. They're like, oh, well, I just talked to a judge, and he said, he told me to charge you with this, that, and the third. I'm like, why the fuck are you calling a judge right now? It's your job as a cop, based off your own, you know, professional judgment, to give me my charges. And if they're bogus, I go to the court system and then we fight them. Not for you to call a fucking judge and try me right there.
Yeah, I talked to Rami about this a couple days ago.
Because then we'll go to court, it'll be the same fucking judge that told him to charge that anyway. So it's already like we lost the case before we even started.
Yeah, I mean, that's a problem. I mean, I personally don't want to see cops contacting judges directly. I think they should talk to lawyers at most.
I think they should just talk to superiors, right? Let the lawyers, you know what I mean? Like, they're supposed to charge us based off their judgment. If they fuck up, they fuck up. They gotta, you know, that's on them.
They have like their own rule book on what they're supposed to be charging people for.
What do you mean, like a rule book?
SOPs?
Like their SOPs.
Well, it's not like an SOP. I mean, I guess you could call it an SOP, but like, for example, you know, let's say someone's fleeing from the police in a car. You know, like, how long did that chase last? Oh, only 10 seconds? Well, they're probably only going to get evading, you know, but if it goes on for like, you know, 5 minutes and it's high speed, then it's less SOP, more just common sense, right? So if you, it's important. That's why it's important to always get a lawyer when you go down in the cells, because they will. I mean, they're supposed to fight that for you, right? I don't know.
But that's where my point comes in. You bring a lawyer, they just call a judge, and it's just dead right there. They're like, the lawyer's like, all right, well, the
he's
judge
saying
said
if you
to
call
charge him with this, you know?
bench trial, the judge already
what.
knows the case.
I'll tell you what. This is a simple solution. I can just straight up make an announcement. I'm gonna say, hey, listen, in cells, when you're talking to a suspect, and they have a cop under no circumstance should be trying to contact a judge via phone or email or whatever to discuss the charges that are happening to that person.
Only for a bench trial or some shit like that.
Yeah, that's totally fucking fair and fine. And honestly, I didn't even know that shit was happening until Rami talked to me about it the other day, and I was like, holy fuck, like like if I was in jail
Ruby
and I
has
was
done
in
it to
prison
me multiple times. I mean, we're talking about like the high level cops doing it. That's the crazy part.
Honestly, they should never be talking to a judge regardless, even if it is coming to a court trial. The only person that should be talking to is a district attorney. Why are they confiding in a judge?
There's no district attorney.
Well, they just hire a lawyer, right?
Yeah, whoever would be taking that job, that's who they should be speaking with, not a judge.
I mean,
they should
that's
never
what
be
we did.
confiding in the judge.
That's what we did for your guys' terrorism case. Is we got 2 prosecutors right off the bat. I wasn't involved at all in the process. I didn't even know who was going to be the prosecutors at the case until I got there. But as far as I'm aware, we didn't do any, or they didn't do any judge talking or whatever the fuck.
How do you feel about juries?
So me personally, the thing. First of all, let me say this, and I don't have enough experience on the DOJ side in Los Santos to even like speak with this on any amount of authority or anything like that. That said, from the perspective of me, the mayor, or Young Dab, or Max, or whatever, would fucking love to see a jury. Would love to see that shit. The thing is, and you know this from back in the day too. I'm gonna be straight up, and this was the case even after I got elected mayor for the first time. I fucking hate judges. And the judge culture back in the day was even worse because they were judge, jury, and executioner. Yeah. And they were able to make laws whenever the fuck they went. This is like pre-Crane times. You know, I'm talking about like LeVar, fucking Coop.
Yeah, I was just trying to say Coop.
Like Coop made his own law that was essentially
Coop's law.
Coop's law. Where basically, you know, if someone was such a menace as determined by them, the judges, then they could super fuck them financially or just send them to prison. Yeah, they get like that kind of like. There's a sense of there was a sense of self-righteousness on their part.
Exactly.
And I don't know if it continues to this day because my interaction with judges has been pretty minimal because they don't come around. They don't come around. They just don't.
Exactly. I made that point to Cram. I'm like, listen, a lot of people making decisions right now aren't even actually living on the streets. They're not working a 9 to 5. They're not doing this shit out here. They don't know what the city's like. So they're sitting up there making decisions on what they think's right. And then we got to live with it. And it may not fit
in the courthouse.
with how, you know.
Speaking of which, is that council have term limits? Like,
yeah.
The first round of elections, nobody even knew what they were electing them for.
What do you mean? Like the first council?
The oversight or whatever.
Oh, Civilian Oversight Board.
Civilian, yeah, those guys.
So that's a question for the head of bar, who's Murphy right now. Once again, I hated that idea so much that I'm completely hands off with it because it was such a toothless thing. And right now, by design, it is toothless. And honestly, it's a waste of time to even engage with the Civilian Oversight Board.
Can you give them some type of actual, pull?
And pull?
So that's another perk for me being commissioner, right? If these Civilian Oversight Board people meet about a certain police officer, I can guarantee to you that if they come meet with me, I'll see if it's actionable or not, and I can keep everyone on the loop. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Be honest with me, Dan. You ever feel like there's some things you might be missing as a mayor or missing as a commissioner because you're doing 2 big roles at once?
There's not much to be done as mayor other than doing what I'm doing right now, which is talking to people.
Be honest, did you appoint yourself or did the state appoint you?
So here's how it
was
went.
giving us mixed answers on that one.
Here's how it went. Okay, the way that it's written in PCP2 is that a suggestion, names had to be collected from the police department, and then those names, as they were suggested by other officers, would be elevated to the state. I was recommended and I put it forward to the state, and the state chose me. If I had chosen myself, I would have it probably would have been an impeachable thing, right?
Okay. I think overall, we gotta open the doors to the civilians, give them the benefit of the doubt instead of not giving them the benefit of the doubt, and then, because when you don't give the benefit of the doubt, you kind of put the city in a chokehold. You don't let it fucking grow.
Guilty
It can't
before innocent.
prosper.
Yep.
We should be promoting people's businesses, giving them a chance to start something, instead of saying, oh, we can't do that because, well, 3 months ago, Bobby Brown did this and it kind of fucked up the whole thing. Or, hey, we can't have a jury because Vinny Pistone fucked that up for everybody. Well, instead of it being fucked up for everybody,
Just fix it.
slam the person that fucked it up and let everyone else keep continuing.
I'm a big proponent of personal accountability. One thing I noticed with the police department, and this is just an example of it, they like to have a lot of like closed door meetings about things that happen in order to determine like punishment or whatever. And even when we were discussing plans to get you guys off the street when you were on the run, one of the high command members, I'm not going to say who, was like, maybe we should meet and then like go forward with a plan. I'm like, bro, listen, we got a room of 20, 30 cops right now, 41 cops at peak. I was like, listen, why don't we just get on stage and say, hey, you guys, what are your fucking ideas? What do you have any ideas or plans to make this thing that we're trying to do happen? Like it's that kind of transparency that I've always advocated for. Like I tried to have the first 6 council meetings filmed, and I was told no because we hadn't drafted anything up to vote on it to like clarify. I'm like, what's the issue with someone filming like a council meeting when it's a matter of
it has an elitist feeling to it at first.
Yeah, I am me. I'm anti-elitist. I'm anti-gatekeep. I'm anti.
Oh, look, everyone's above it.
Why is everyone?
I might have to dip here in a little bit, guys, but continue.
Yeah. Look, first of all, full transparency. I mean, you guys can search me right now if you want. I'm not on duty. I don't have my PD radio. I don't even have my fucking phone. So there's no way for them to track me on my phone or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I came here in good faith because I know you guys. I did what you guys were doing a long time ago, and I understand. I get it. I try to get it, and if before you have to leave. Once again, just call me whenever. Seriously.
Okay. I will.
Please.
I don't got your number.
I'll be in the lemon list pretty much every time I'm awake.
All we're asking for is fairness. We understand. We some slimy ass criminals. But we can't be playing a rigged game, you know what I'm saying? The cards are dealt against us.
Yep. I got you.
Okay.
But at the same time, my pledge to you is the same pledge to those cops. I want them to feel like they can do their job. I don't want them to be demoralized. I want them to be able to do it legally, and I want them to feel like they are accomplishing whatever it is they set forth when they wanted to join that police department.
Do they understand it's a game of tug of war though? The harder they pull, the other side's gonna pull harder back, and then back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So the crazier they get, people are gonna feel some type of way. Because I mean, at the end of the day, shit, this is our living here. We got kids to feed out here.
Bro, listen, I mean, that's why I did my terrorism back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I get it. As long as I'm commissioner, so long as you guys aren't doing some crazy ass shit on the streets that is making it impossible for them to do their job normally, I'm never going to approve what we had going on for that fucking manhunt after the council shooting.
Well, like an example is on a low level is you're in a chase. You pit a cop. Next thing you know, hey, stop that! We're gonna fucking shoot you. You're gonna shoot me? What you mean? You just slammed my fucking boy into the wall, bitch. Next thing you know, you're getting shot. And then that same crew, they get out of jail. They're like, nah, fuck these motherfuckers. They go out there, and once they hear that, hey, you're gonna shoot me? No, bitch, I'ma shoot you this time. And then it just keeps
they
escalating,
immediately start.
and escalating.
Well, they think they're above the law, Max. Come on, they think they are the law.
Well, the justification for shooting when you get hit by a car, right? Like it has. I mean, you know, we got the best medical care in the fucking universe, right?
Better than Canada.
Better than Canada, better than fucking the NHS in Britain, whatever. But the logical justification for them escalating to shooting in that particular situation is, you know, they're trying to kill me, right?
Yeah.
So that situation that's a tough one, because I mean, I'm learning how to be a cop too right now. I don't know.
It's also like it's almost like, all right, well, hey, I know I got 15 cops here. I shoot this dude. If he shoots back, he's fucked.
Right.
Even if they, you know, quote unquote, shoot your tires, but they never really do. They just fucking blasting at your car. They don't even know what they're hitting.
Well, they're not supposed to shoot tires right now.
It's the problem is some of them might shoot a tire just to slow down, just so they can shoot them. You know, even though they're taught not to shoot tires, they're taught to shoot to kill, not to shoot to disable. You know.
You know, a good solution to, you know, a bunch of interference vehicles trying to pick cops would be to have them shoot for the tires, because in theory that takes the interference vehicle out. You know, and they gotta replace the tires or whatever. You know,
Not really, because one side sees it as shooting the tire, and the other side sees it as, oh, I'm getting shot. Everybody get
Excessive
ready to
use of
pop.
force. Yeah.
You feel
Oh
me?
no. What I'm saying is, you know, for example, okay, say Mr. K is getting chased. Mr. K is getting chased by 4 cops. That's the standard unit limit on normal, like, crimes.
Wait,
right?
really? That's the
Yeah,
actual
but
limit?
for cash exchange,
I would tell you right now that
it
does not happen.
Okay, well, you need to pay attention if that happens in the future. Like, if it's like a traffic stop and you run from it, that's supposed to be 4 cap.
Oh, we just broke a fence and had the whole fucking PD on us.
No, I mean, are you wanted right now? Is there like?
No, I'm telling you,
No?
that's just how it is in general. They don't follow that. They don't follow those guidelines.
You know, for clarity, I'm talking about, like, you know, 4 units.
Yeah, cars.
Cars.
Yeah,
right.
no, yeah, they don't follow that.
I've seen a laundromat with 10.
Okay, so
Like
here's
just
the
the
thing.
scene lead, you know, the
Here-
scene lead needs to take more
Here-
control of the stuff.
Here's the thing, though. You know, like, if you kidnap a cop, obviously that limit no longer
obviously.
applies.
I'm
Like,
talking
if you
in general, like even like, you know, run from a traffic stop, you get more than 4.
So here's the thing, right? But, like, if you get these interference vehicles, then they have to call for backup to deal with those extra cars. And it becomes
I
like
know
an
how that
escalation
works.
thing.
I'm just
So,
saying
yeah.
in general, they usually don't follow that, even before interference.
Okay, I will. I mean, I'll keep an eye out for it. If I'll make sure. You know, if me personally, I'm trying to learn how to pursue. So if I'm out on the street and, you know, someone's getting chased and there's 5 cops and I can see them on my fucking GPS or whatever, I'll start making a point to call them off publicly. I mean, from what I've seen personally, I've seen that called off. I've seen the call offs already. Like, and I've only been a cop for like 2 weeks or some shit. So, like, there are cops trying to uphold that. You know, and chaos happens, and, you know, maybe, you know, I'm just gonna tell you right now, as long as I'm on duty, I mean, we're awake at the same time. You know, provided you're not kidnapping cops or, you know, not interfering, there's no interference vehicles, and that limit should be 4 unless it's a robbery, right?
Yeah, of course.
So, what is your perspective on these turfs? Because to my knowledge, from my perspective, last week I seen 5, 6, 7 different cop cars and a helicopter coming down, storming in places. So,
What do you mean?
What are your
like
plans?
selling weed and shit?
Are you talking about raiding turfs?
Yeah.
You're saying?
Yeah,
Like the weed spots and stuff?
yeah. What is your, like, perspective? Like, what is your plan? Are you trying to diminish that, get rid of that, or just, like, ease into it so it's not just free land?
When did you see this? Was this during the manhunt for you guys?
There's been several occasions that this has happened.
Was it during the manhunt?
I'm gonna be honest.
No.
This is kind of how the
Before,
crane cover
after.
went, guys. Fuck all these little situations, this and a third. As long as we got a way where we can actually, you know, make complaints and reports about these, you know, this shit to people, and shit can be done about it. That's what really matters. If we can actually have a IA-like system where if a fucking cop shoots your ass and you're unarmed and it was, you know, excessive force, whatever, you can go there, make that complaint, and some shit will actually go down, and they'll be proactive about, you know, trying to help you instead of trying to cover it up and trying to act like, oh no, you sure this happened like that? Da-da-da. And they're actually trying to help you, then that's the answer right there.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, as long as I'm commissioner, I'm going to make these things actionable. So if you try to get the name of the, like, for example, like, hypothetically, maybe you're reaching for your phone, you get shot.
Cops,
Boom. You're on the ground. You know, you're in the hospital. The cops, the shot you is over you. You know, get their badge number, get their name or whatever, and fucking just write up the situation for me, and then I will personally go over that shit. I'm telling you right now, I will do it.
We're usually, oh, take him to court. Well, it's not that easy to get a court case. You know
it's really not. Here's what my answer is: take them to court, but also tell me about it. You know what I'm saying? Because their punishment judicially is going to be accompanied by a punishment from me if it's determined that maybe they shouldn't have fucking blasted you for that particular situation.
Yeah, 100%. I like that.
All right.
We'll see if any of this happens.
Are they going to get
the
punished for some of those
yeah.
actions?
Oh yeah, motherfucker! Hell yeah!
Other than sternly talked to.
You want to know why they need to be punished for stuff like that? If it happens like that, is because, and for example, I'm going to say right now, there might be reports that you guys make to me that I don't necessarily view as actionable. And we're not always going to agree on that. Like, submitting a report to me isn't always going to be this guy's going to get fucked or punished or whatever.
Well, naturally.
I will tell you what the punishment was. I will tell you my thought process on why I think that they shouldn't have been punished in a particular way or whatever. But I'm going to tell you right now, if it's a matter of someone getting shot when they shouldn't have been shot, that is a breach of standard operating protocol, and they would be punished for something like that.
You know what needs to happen, Max, is that the cops need to be holding each other accountable, and that's what they don't do. They'll always back up the people.
Bro, I'm gonna hold them accountable.
Yeah, you.
All right.
But if you're not there, it's on scene. A cop needs to be able to take another cop at that point and be like, "Yo, you're forcing it. You need to chill the fuck out."
Okay.
And is it going to be the same thing where the cop's word is always more valuable than anyone else's?
In what regard? Like in a court case?
Just in the particular instance, say Kay got shot when he pulled out his phone and shouldn't have been shot.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to believe the cop or are you going to believe Kay?
I'm telling me right
I'm
now.
talking about before even getting any of the information.
Bro, all I'm saying is right now, okay, if you guys truly care as much as you do about police officers being held accountable, you cannot afford to lie to me in a situation like that. And I need your word that you won't. And I trust the Mr. K1 because he's been around for a long fucking time. If you don't lie to me and you can promise that you're not going to lie to me when I do these investigations, then I can administer justice as it needs to be administered, straight up.
Because I have a feeling the criminals are going to lie a lot less than the cops are.
Yeah, we'll see. I will say that another reason why the PCP was drafted is because the pathetic shell of the police department those three captains established was so fixated on policing each other that they weren't actually doing any work in the field, as evidenced by Mr. Ramiel Rahman maintaining a bar license for 2 months, despite actively doing crime. You know what I'm saying? Like it was bad.
They arrested me without doing any fucking investigation.
Yeah, and that's why I fucking pardoned you, motherfucker.
I remember, yeah.
Remember?
I did use that to my advantage in the questioning, by the way, when I shot up the council.
What?
Well, when they first started questioning me, they're trying to paint the picture that, hey, you hate the council, right? I said, no, I love those guys. They pardoned me.
Yeah, that's a good strat. Your lawyer fucking failed you, dog.
Right? I thought he did good. His mom did the whole case for him.
I agree to disagree. And yeah, that was a hard case to take. But to me, it seemed like he was doing like an ego check on me, where he was like, because that motherfucker always likes to be like, oh, I was the eternal mayor, blah, blah, blah.
Well, I think his point was trying to be like, hey, the case is tainted because this is, Dab's conflicted and he's too involved, and then Siobhan went on scene and when she shouldn't have been, shit like that.
Yeah. The scene when Siobhan went was already wrapped up. It had already been investigated. And as far as my involvement, I almost did get involved. I almost did. And it was actually Vivian Gray who, because I marched down to MRPD. I was pissed. I was furious. I wanted to see your interrogation. I wanted to see all that shit. And Vivian Gray, who I don't like,
she's the one that
was
fucked me. She's the one that did my original thing.
Bro, I don't like her either. But the thing is, she brought it up to the commanding officers at the time who were down in the cells, and she was like, they can't be here because they'll fuck the investigation up, because there might be exactly what fucking happened with Mickey during the case is that's an angle that they could use in court to potentially, you know, overturn it, like, you know, through the poisonous tree or whatever.
Yeah,
and she was right.
Yeah,
she was fucking right, and I was pissed. Because I wanted to be there. I wanted to see the questions. I wanted to be the one to be like, hey, what about this? What about that? What about this?
Cook slacked. He didn't get shit. He didn't get anything at all.
So, like, my involvement was literally going down there, being like, hey, what's going on? And then they told me, and I was like, okay, I want to watch the interrogation. And then Vivian Gray raised her concerns, and I was like, all right, she's fucking right. We should get out of here. Boom, done. And then it was just completely, like, I was not involved in that shit at all.
Goddamn, fuck Vivian Gray.
Yep. if she hadn't been there, bro, I'm telling you,
you should have tried to big dick me, man.
Dude, I was trying so fucking hard, dude. She was screaming at me.
God, you missed a good interrogation.
Man, I wish I could have seen that shit. I'm not even gonna lie.
Shit, I might have went free after that court case.
You would have, because they wouldn't have lied, because they would have had to say, yeah, he was down there the whole time. He watched the interrogations. He was reading the reports. He was fucking doing everything, you know. But it just ended up not like that, and you know, I feel like I failed upward in that particular situation. Anyway, bro, we can talk about this shit forever. Bottom line, call me if you have any issues. Fuck the civilian oversight board. Don't waste your fucking time. Come straight to me. Tell me what happened. I'll talk to the motherfuckers that were involved in that particular.
What if they could be like your secretaries when you're not around? You know what I mean? Like, because you're not always around, and if
yeah, Siobhan, she's always around.
Okay, she doesn't hate me.
She's scared of you.
You know,
but bro, listen, I told her where I was going.
Did she ever tell you what I did to her last time?
No.
I was taking pictures of her with a sniper scope and sending them to her at different locations.
No, I saw the picture.
I would take a picture of her with a sniper scope and say, "Hey, you look good today."
Yeah, no, I saw those. She begged me not to come here, and I was like, "Listen, bro, if I go down there, good faith, not in cop uniform, and I talk to these motherfuckers, at the end of the day, they know me, I know them." I know what they want. They know what they know what I'm about. You know, no matter what happened in the past, we can't live in fear, because at the end of the day, we're all just people, motherfucker, and we're just trying to live. You know what I'm saying?
Word two.
Word to who?
Your mother.
Word to your mother.
I ain't gonna say my mama. I ain't gonna say
my mother. All right, I gotta go.
All right.
Appreciate it, man.
Let me go see if my boys got sent to prison.
Good freaking talk.
We gotta stay in contact.
Up in, Bobby.
Right?
Easy.
Take care, mama.
Thank you.
Damn, bro, we got 2 meetings in one day.
Yeah. I hate when we go in circles, though.
Yeah, we was going in circles at the end.
I feel like both combos turned into like people just complaining about little shit that happened to him. I'm like, listen.
But the thing is,
he's not gonna fix that right here. It's just we need a better system.
Yeah. It's just that, you know, sometimes you got questions that you just ask yourself over weeks.
Builds up, yeah.
Yeah. But this is good. This is good. Honestly, I thought that when you guys were going to become convicted terrorists, this shit was going to be like...
It was a shit show for a bit. It was pretty bad.
I thought it was going to be hard to go back to normal, but it's working out well.
Franny only got 20. Let's go pick him up.
I think that's the first time France has been arrested, no?
Yeah, it's also like the third time he's been away.
That is true.
We'll see, though. We'll see, you know.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't believe in anything that motherfucker say.
Well, I believe it when I see it.
I do respect him for coming down and listening.
Court cases with an actual jury. That would be so fire.
I think that's fire, MK. But I just feel like in this city, it's hard to find like 8 people that don't know anything about chain gang.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, who gives a fuck? It'll just, you know. I feel like
I think that's what Crane was saying.
It'll add a lot more, you know what I mean? It don't gotta be
Oh
perfect.
yeah, most definitely.
And that's my point of, yo, give the benefit of the doubt. Shit don't gotta be fucking perfect. Once you're too worried about shit being perfect, then you can't do shit. And that's where we're at right now. There's no businesses, no nothing, because they're too worried about shit being perfect. And then then there's just nothing to do.
Yeah, that is true.
Who gives a fuck
That is
if
true.
this person knows that, and, you know, on the jury? They'll make shit more interesting.
Oh, they got the fucking heli over there.
Oh, hell no. What is Franny doing in there?